Put your red shirt on and a brown coat too. Everybody's joining the crew. We got just one drink that we rule them all. Cookie Fruit, remember your cows. Get your Uru hammers and your Middle guns. A sonic screwdriver or a sword +1. Use Valerian steel if it will get you to come. To the big tank. To the big tank. The Rocky Mountain big tank.
Hi, I'm Guy.
Hi, I'm Alex.
And Troy will be here shortly. And this is Geek Tank, your that took way too much effort sized podcast. So I had a 5-minute job that took something in the order of 30 minutes because there was so much. Hey, since you've done this, why don't you click these buttons to get extra helpful things? And I'm like, go away. I just get to start the show.
You fool. You made your last blunder.
I didn't email you the link. I couldn't because I'm now logged into all of the things that are not my email anymore. And I had to do that quickly because it wanted verification that I was who I was. And oh man, reinstalling is a pain because once you reinstall, of course, all the cookies are changed. And then it has to do well, you need to verify that you are who you are. It amazes me because it's like World War III out there. There we go. Troy finally made it.
Yeah, I didn't see your thing because I was still trying to find the solution to the problem.
I got it. I can't email anybody now because now I'm logged into Geek Tank, and all of my emails are.
Oh. Apparently, the vibrations of the sound caused it to fall. I'll get that fixed in a minute. I'm trying to get headphones ready.
Oh, look, there's the sprinkler system. That's always useful. Wherever he is, he's got a sprinkler above him.
It's important.
Yeah. I'm always amazed by that many security systems that still my friends are losing their Instagram accounts to hackers and things like that. It astonishes me and terrifies me, frankly, because I'm horribly, horribly worried that I'm going to, yeah, right. And then Troy falls down the stairs while talking on the phone.
No, I guess you didn't hear me. I am trying to get my headphones ready.
I know. We're just making jokes.
Okay. It makes it sound like you don't know what's going on. Okay.
No.
All right. I see. So you're already running the show. Okay.
Yeah, the show's already live. We're already good. You're really late. That's all. We're making fun of you. So where are you?
Montreal.
Well, I know that, but are you in the basement? Because you've got lots of echo and there's sprinkler systems above you.
Nope. It is a Airbnb that is set up to be much like a apartment building, kind of. It's got a really crazy system where you have to punch in all these codes to get through the doors. It reminds me a lot of the way Fifth Element's set up, the way they have the room set up there. You have to punch in all these codes to get doors open.
So do you have the multi-pass?
I do. It's just a punch code that you put in.
Okay.
But yeah, I will. I don't think I can change the camera around. Oh, maybe this will do. No, that just turns the camera off. I'll just turn the camera around so you can see it all. There's the kitchen. And there I am in reflection because mirrors always make a place look bigger. There's the front entrance. There's the living room. And then that's the hallway that leads down to 3 separate bedrooms, washer and dryer for clothes, and a bathroom.
Huh.
So it's pretty spacious here. I want to see if I can't get the chat thing open so I can see what Brent is saying. Maybe that'll do it. That was weird.
And then the building killed him.
Huh. So it can open up the chat window entirely and cover up the screen.
And we're not going to do anything but talk. So as long as you can hear us and talk to us, probably reading this Cat window is probably more important. And then you can't see anything.
Yep. You just have to keep me updated on stuff.
There are people cheering outside, so the explosions must be nearby and trying to kill them.
Yep. I was wondering if you were going to put on headphones to try to avoid all the explosions to scare you.
I'm trying to decide which I like worse.
Yeah. Is it better to be startled with explosions or to be uncomfortable in the head and ears?
Yeah, I'm decided which is worse. I actually have. That's not a bad idea. Hadn't actually thought of that, but now I'm thinking of that. So anyway, we'll go on ahead and continue with the show. As they set fire to stuff. I actually can smell gunpowder, so they're obviously right here in the park. I've called the police a couple of times. Doesn't seem to do any good. So there's that.
Oh.
The police won't. They don't seem to care. So
Yeah, they don't have a duty to protect anyone, so or they have a duty to protect your peace of mind.
all they have to do is protect my property. So that's it.
Yep.
That's all they've got a duty for. Anyway, I can't find my headphones, so I'll have to figure out where they went.
You threw
That's
them
not a
away.
horrible bad idea. I may do that by the time I start my other show tonight. So, how's Canada?
Strangely, they're not setting off any fireworks.
Weird.
I know. There's a jazz festival that I can hear like part of through my window. That's like right around the corner at a park.
Oh, I dig that. I love jazz.
Yeah. It's like modern blues with it's more vocalist kind of stuff than it is like band instruments.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're in Montreal, so you have to speak.
Yes.
Time.
Actually, unlike America, they speak multiple languages here.
Weird.
So they.
Weirdos.
Yeah, I was talking to one of the servers at the place we were at tonight, and he said that that it's interesting because most of the residents are very friendly and willing to speak English to tourists. But if you move here, especially if you move here from another country besides America, but also including America, that they're very prejudiced about you not learning French and speaking French here.
No, it kind of
So
makes some
which-
sense, though.
It's like unfriendly prejudiceness, though. It's not like
Yeah, it's not the friendly kind, the nice kind.
yeah, not
The nice
not,
kind
not
of
the
prejudice.
polite. Yeah, the nice prejudice.
You know, the nice, friendly,
the-
happy prejudice.
They're not politely asking people to learn a language for living here. You know, they're just making them feel bad and kind of stuff.
Yeah, they want. I mean, every population wants people to assimilate
To conform.
Mhm.
or be so rich that they don't have to. Pick one.
Too. Yeah,
Yes,
good choice. A or B, you pick. So
It's so easy to just choose to be rich.
it is interesting that that's the ongoing case. Yes, lots of explosions.
I find it humorous that it just happened to work out this way, but then I'm out of America on 4th of July. So
Yes,
You no good, Nick.
that's right.
you're so unpatriotic all of a sudden because of that, which makes sense.
Well,
So-
if I had the funding and could just choose to leave, you know, I can't say that I wouldn't consider strongly the possibility of that. The place I'd want to live, though, is like the most expensive place to live in Canada, so it's not really practical, which is Toronto.
Yeah, but the CNN tower, I don't know. It's cool. I like the tower. It's a thing. I dig that tower. It's cool.
It's a cool city. It's just very expensive.
Yeah. It'd be like trying
I
to
mean-
move to LA or New York.
Yeah, or Japan, like trying to live in Tokyo.
Yeah, although honestly, I would move out of Tokyo and then commute like everybody else does. It wouldn't kill me. There are a lot of people
Yeah.
who do it in Japan all the time. So
Until Godzilla attacks, then it would kill you.
then it's Godzilla, and then I have Godzilla problems. I guess there are a lot of people who have Godzilla problems. Yeah.
Could
Nice.
be. So yeah, went to the
there.
No, you're under attack. Take cover.
It'd be okay.
So you're about 20 to 30 blocks away from each other, right? So you probably can't hear the same explosions.
I don't know. I just wish they'd stop that one. I can handle all the other ones. It's that artillery one that I can't deal with because it's so loud.
I saw a fun
last night about the end of the show. By the time I was at the end of my show, I was already getting PTSD shakes. So I was like, ugh. But, you know, we've got to celebrate our freedom by making people get PTSD. So that's, you know, an American tradition. So there's that.
Yeah. At least, you know, you should never join the artillery division of any group.
Yeah.
Guy, go fire this mortar 100 times.
Oh, yeah. To be fair, I'd probably get rid of it.
Well, if you're the one doing the firing, you know when it's happening.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, also, even this one I know because it makes a loud poof before it explodes, but it still startles me. I don't like loud noises in general.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. So anyway. That's all right.
I saw
I made it through previous July 4ths. I'll make it through this.
I saw a fun meme that was saying that didn't know how much fireworks cost, but apparently they're cheap enough that people can buy them in bulk and still complain about the cost of gas.
Right. Well, and you know that they're driving all the way to Wyoming for it, so that's not exactly cheap because it's illegal here. I don't even know why. I mean, it's like they're gonna trash the park out there, and
it'll look fine by next year.
Yeah, it'll be great by next year. So
you should have just laid out a ton of napalm, so then when they set it off, they just catch themselves on fire. That'll solve it.
I keep thinking about how, you know, at some point people are going to just start becoming vigilante because it's stuff like this that makes you like really aggravated. Like this is not comfortable, you know? And it's like, it's really unpleasant and it's uncomfortable, but it's just not just me. I know that there are other vets that live in this neighborhood. Mm-hmm. They're complaining on Nextdoor right now about how, you know, one guy is already like just cowering in the closet. And, you know, I'm like, yeah, let's celebrate our heroes of you know war by making them all cower in terror. That sounds like a great idea.
This is celebrating American independence, just not celebrating. Unless I'm mistaken, we don't have any living vets from that era.
Well, there's that one guy, but you know we don't talk about him. You know how he won? He won by drinking the blood of all of his victims. So, anyway, it still seems,
or at least celebrating,
unpatriotic. Brent says he was there. I just told everyone, Brent. There you go.
Yeah. It's the concept of America being that you explode stuff all the time.
Yeah, I know. And if it was just sparklers and I mean, even everything short of that huge artillery thing, I'd be fine. You know what I mean? Like none of the rest of the stuff's really bothering me, but it's that one that it's just so loud and startling and it's horrible. That's really the only one.
You ever been got with the they're called like snap pops? It's little pieces of paper with gunpowder wrapped up in them. There's a booby trap you can do with that. That's really simple, and you just lay them on the ground on concrete, and when somebody steps on them, they go off.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't make me happy though.
All right, I'll remember that next time.
I was gonna say if you have a plan to do that, let's not.
I'll just tell Kai about it.
Right, exactly. I actually have been really worried. At 10 o'clock, all my lights turn dark in here, as they all do, into the blue color. And last night, I was worried somebody was going to come in here during this fireworks stuff, and I was going to end up freaking out and elbowing them or something. So I've been trying to warn them to not sneak up on me. I'm particularly jumpy right now. I'm a little agitated, and so now is the time where I punch people. And so
you and every dog in America,
right? Every dog. Dove just sits in the middle of the house now, cowering in fear, and yeah. So anyway, for our independence. So anyway, that one, I don't know what we were going to talk about. I'm super stressed out right now because of the fireworks plus all of this that I had to go through to get in here. I thought for sure leaving myself 40 minutes would be far more than enough time to start StreamYard up, but I misjudged how many things are two-factor authentication that it doesn't have things that we're connected to. Because you couldn't get to the email, and so I had to go through GoDaddy, which required me to two-factor. Then I went through the email, which required me to two-factor, which required me to load up Outlook, which required me to two-factor, which it was like, oh my God. Anyway, it was this long process. And
Brent's cat's one of those cats that likes to light houses on fires, apparently.
Yep, and I think that's actually kind of true, knowing how Tormund works.
Yeah.
He's been that way for a while.
Yes, our cat is not caring.
Yeah, George doesn't. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen hide nor hair of George, to be fair.
The guy, didn't you get like a bunch of soundproofing foam from someone?
Yeah.
You should put that all over your windows in your room. Muffle
I
out
should.
the explosions. You have a whole year to do it now.
Yeah. The truth is, it's the biggest problem we've got is my AC unit needs a vent. So I can't vent the heat. So, and in a stupid turn of events, the screen has broken on the AC unit. So it's either plugged in and on or unplugged and off. And that's all I've got. So I don't have control over temperature or anything like that. The touch screen no longer works. So I can't turn it off. And if I close the door, then that doesn't matter. You heard that. That shook the house. So I
don't know. I think if it bothered me enough and I had access to it, I would give it a shot.
Well, yeah, no. The soundproofing is fine. It's not a problem. It's the fact is that the vent to the outside leaves a gap about this big in my window, which has
you just have to
goes over. It's about this thick, so it's not like I don't know. Anyway, yeah, you're not wrong. My windows are actually really good if I could just figure out a way to vent the heat.
You can always put up some styrofoam that to fit under where the vent is, so that you have more sound insulation there. If I'd known that you needed some, I would have given you some because I've got plenty.
Yeah, no, I didn't think about it until literally right now when Troy said something about it. It's like all of the things I didn't think about. I didn't think about the headphones, and it's like a lot of things. I'm stressed out. I'm not thinking very well anyway because I'm stressed out. This is very stressful for me. I don't like loud noises. I don't like sudden things, and this is all of the above. And so,
technically, you have 6 months because you're gonna have to go through it again at New Year's Eve,
right? But yeah, I mean, like, this just stresses me out so that I don't think so straight. That's all right. I'll figure it out. I'll get there. I'll be fine.
Brent was saying, you need to make yourself a panic room in the basement.
Yeah, right. Totally do. Except that now I have to be on Geek Tank, which, I'm in my panic room yelling at you through the
internet
vents.
can get in there. You'll be fine.
Yeah. The internet's slippery like that.
Slippery internet.
Ooh.
It's gonna.
Oh, I love those coins.
The bear on a coin. Yeah. Yeah, I love
Well,
how they have
you
two
can't
different
show that
models like
because
that.
now you're
Those
showing
ones.
bare coins on the internet. You're going to get a
Yeah.
shutdown,
Geek Tank After Dark.
right?
Yeah, After Dark. It's
Okay, so
$2.
tell us what your experience is up there in the great land of the North.
Subway system's really awesome.
I love subways.
It's nice using public transportation, and being further north, the weather is cooler and more tolerable. But yeah, it's just different in that way, and it's the closest I'd say you can get to either going to your extreme north or extreme south to feeling like you're in a foreign country without actually flying away.
Mhm.
Because nearly everybody here speaks French, so most of the conversations going past you are in French.
That's cool.
Went to the bubonic plague gardens. No, the botanic
Yay.
gardens. But some of the stuff was being repaired that the folks wanted to go see, so they didn't get to do that. We're going to some biodome thingy tomorrow, and this is my second time being up here. And there's a place called Chez Geek that I'm going to go to because I like to buy dice whenever I travel outside the country or to new cities. So
That was remarkably loud. So loud, I actually missed some of the words you said because it was so loud.
wow.
So but I managed to piece it together. I'm good.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're only here for today and tomorrow, and then we drive out the day after that. And probably going to, since apparently there's a lot of Walmarts in Canada, we're going to stop at one of the Walmarts and see what's different about it. Probably, if they have Kinder Eggs, we'll probably buy a bunch, but separate the toys from the chocolate so we don't get busted going through the border.
What are you trying to
Although
do?
I think those have been changed to being legal now.
I don't know. I wouldn't count on it.
Yeah, I wouldn't put money on it, but I think they've been changed to legal.
So I don't feel like Americans have gotten any smarter. So, and the whole thing
There is
was you can't have things that aren't food inside of food is the concept, because people are too stupid to take it out before eating it.
Yeah.
Although,
That is
let me
indeed
see,
the
do I
problem.
have one of those over here? I don't see them. I was going to show you the size of one of these Kinder Egg things, but I don't see where they are now. If I can shout for one of my kids. Hey, somebody bring me a Kinder Egg capsule. They can't hear me.
They've gone somewhere else so you can do
Well, one's playing Switch and one's playing DS. They probably have headphones on.
Yeah, that's where mine is right now, playing Switch as well with headphones on, which you said it, and I'm like, oh, well, that's not actually a bad idea at all. Now I just have to remember where the hell I put them.
Mm-hmm. They make some good ones that are noise canceling, so that way you won't hear anything around you.
Yeah. I hate headphones so much that I bought the cheap Office Depot special headphones. So
I've gotten really lucky and have found some decent gamer headphones at Goodwill. And they, what's really cool, because there's these YouTube videos you can watch that do headphone tests. When it was doing the test, it doesn't tell you what they're going to do. They just say, now we're going to test your surround sound thing. They did it with knocking on wood. And I could have sworn somebody was like over my right shoulder knocking on the wall. And I'm like, is that one of my kids? So it's really impressive how well some of those headphones can do directional sound.
Well, and of course that's the idea. You want to. Some games are so important to know that you're being shot from over here or being shot from over there, and so you can turn around and shoot them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Or when you have the killer right over your shoulder breathing in your ear to give you the jump scare.
Yeah.
Yep. I paid
I know about all these
first
games.
gamer headset. Then after that, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do that ever again. But much more on this headset.
All it did was just make you like paranoid. And
no, I'm like, they just weren't very comfortable to wear for long periods of time. So I bought a pair that are.
That's important. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want ones that are going to make your ears sweaty in a half hour, because most game sessions are usually 3 to 5 hours, I think.
Right. Yeah.
So let's see. Since we have nothing to talk about, not here, but in New York where I was, I went to. There's a friendly local game shop that I like to hit there all the time because they have a house cat. They have a cat that lives inside of the game store, and so it's always fun to go to places that really like pets like that. And they added a dog to it too, which is great when they get along, which is nice. Yep, you're getting Call of Duty. But they had these. Normally, I'll spend like a half hour to an hour going through their cheap Magic card box, but I didn't really have that time. And they had put together these 800 card boxes for $10, and it's full of, none of the rares are like over $1. They're like, quarter rares and that kind of stuff. But it was really fun going through
bottom
it.
right corner of the card, it's a quarter rare.
Yep. Because the vast majority of them I didn't have because they were all from sets from like 2018 and up. There were a few that were much older than that, but I would say maybe from what I know of, I've only got maybe between 25 to 50 of the cards were cards I already had. But I was going to check the weight of our suitcases, and I was thinking about buying a few more boxes and then like breaking them into halves without looking what they are, and then us doing like deck building with it and try playing with these janky cards.
So real quickly to address Brent, Emily, I doubt is ever coming back. I would like to think that she would, but I don't think she was that into it in the first place. Chelsea will probably come back at some point. I don't know. But we kind of added Alex because really it was just down to Troy and me again. So we need to add Alex to the credits, but I need to redo the credits anyway for a lot of reasons. One, with StreamYard, we really don't need that 1 minute lead in anymore. So I need to cut the 1 minute lead in and add Alex to it. What we need to do is the three of us need to go out to a park somewhere and make like funny faces or do something and do pictures so we can do a different opening.
Just do South Park animation of us.
Right, South Park animation of us. That one did. Gosh, what are they doing now?
Same stuff.
Yeah, I hate it when people are like, we have to be free to do our stuff, and that means it hurts you, but hey, it's our freedom. It's like, okay, thanks. Yeah, actually, Star Trek animation. That's what we should do, is some kind of Star Trek animation. That'd be funny. Put us all in Starfleet uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, let's see. What else is going on? Oh, I did finally get all of my Kamigawa stuff, and I'm trying to put it into a binder and get them all squared away. I thought that was kind of fun. So,
are you having issues with figuring that out?
No, I'm just putting them by card number. And what I've discovered is that there are 3 sets of numbers. For the 302 cards in this set, there's like 600 cards, so it's very funny how they did that. Because they're counting one card as one of the cards. So if it's, I don't know, like Rabbit Battery, they count that as one. But then there's the alternate art of it. Then there's also the commander version of it. And so that's still 1 out of 302. But then when you look at the alternate art, it says number 463. And you're like, So once I figured that out, I now realize I need 2 binders because my binder only holds 360 cards. So,
well, if there's 3 versions of each card, you need 3 binders.
Yeah, but I've decided I'm just not going to mess with the commander version of them. It's not worth the effort because usually it's the same art. It just has a commander icon instead of the Kamigawa icon, and I really don't worry about that. Yeah,
that's sometimes when they change sets, it's different art. But I can see how, since it's all really from the same set,
and since really what I'm after is the art, I don't care to get the same card twice, so it doesn't really matter. But Alex and I were talking at one point, and Alex was like, well, maybe we should look at singles, or Kevin and I were talking. I don't remember whether it was Alex or Kevin, but it was somebody. We were talking about this, and she was looking at singles now instead of getting packs because they're not helping. But we went to the Enchanted Grounds, the other Enchanted Grounds, not the one that we usually go to, but the other one, because I was going to a movie to see Macross down at the
way down south,
way down there, which was like 2 blocks away from the other Enchanted Grounds. So Kevin and I went to that one, and they had Japanese set boosters. They actually had Japanese collector boosters. So I picked up a couple of those, which was cool.
You mean Kamigawa in Japanese?
Neon Dynasty collector boosters in Japanese.
Okay. So, I was asking because I know that they released other sets in Japanese, like with anime art. So I wasn't sure if that was the set you were talking about.
Yeah, it's the same art, but the cards are in Japanese. So I went ahead and just added them in there too. I'm not going to try to collect a full set of Japanese, but I think what I want to try to do is just start collecting those more. Those are much more interesting and more fun because I can open the packs and still get interesting cards and yada yada yada. And
when I looked on TCG Player, all the art cards were relatively cheap because they don't add anything to people building competitive decks.
Right.
So I think they were all. Yeah, so collecting them all individually would overall be cheaper, which actually in most cases is the way it goes with Magic, is buying individuals.
And financial way to go. My wife or my partner has decided that she's looking for a certain number of cards for her decks, so we're just going to gather all of this stuff into one pool and start ordering them and stuff like that. So I also got like a couple of really, really rare cards with the collector set that are worth a little bit of money, so I can sell those because they came with the Japanese collector set. So I already have one for the American set, and yada yada yada, so on and so forth.
Yeah, if you're gonna buy boosters, sealed boosters, I recommend checking out Kieran Games.
That's a great idea. Because just so you know, Geek Tank is sponsored by Kieran Games, Geekway Homes, and Your Mom. So, even though we are talking a lot about Magic, I'm noticing that Alex isn't saying much. So, Alex, do you have opinions?
No.
Liar.
No, I mean, yeah, it's generally cheaper to buy singles than to buy packs and gamble. I don't have an opinion on how you wish to collect. How you wish to create and maintain your own collection.
I know. But, I mean, I'm not asking you to tell me how to do my own collection. I'm saying, do you have anything that you wish to add to this conversation now that we are quite literally in your field?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is
seems
your
fine.
thing.
Seems fine. Yeah, I'm looking forward to grabbing the Dracula art treatments from Crimson Vow and all that, but that's me. I did get I did back the Kickstarter last year for the reusable draft packs for use with cubes and stuff, cube imagigs. So I'm looking forward to getting those pretty soon. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, there's a website. I can send it to you guys if you want it. You can find it really easily, actually, if you want yourself to. But I don't know if you remember the first Magic the Gathering computer game that was made called Chandrila.
Chandalar.
I really, really enjoyed that game back when it came out. And I remember several years ago, I believe it was Angela gave me a physical copy of the game. And I tried to install it on my computer, and it ran like 50 times too fast.
Yep.
So it ran way too fast. And I didn't know how to fix that. So I gave up on it instead of trying to figure it out. Recently, one of our mutual friends was talking about the game. I'm like, I remember that game. It was awesome. So I started looking online. You can download it for free. And the tutorial talks you through how to prep your computer to make it work. So Before I left, I was playing a ton of that, since that's the only way I'm ever going to play with, like open a pack and get a Black Lotus and Moxes and such. Did you ever see that game, Guy?
No, I mean, but I assume it's relatively similar to Arena in design.
It is, but there's an adventure mode where you build your little avatar character and you walk around on this map. That's like, well, not exactly 3D, but that 2.5D, and you're going from town to town, gathering cards by getting into battles, and it uses the ante system. And so you're anteing a card in the game, playing for that card, and whatever card the bad guys ante, and you're looking for clues to find dungeons. You go into the dungeons and collect other cards. So it's a neat little, because you start out as only you pick what color mage you want to be, and you get an okay deck in that color, but then you have to go around and collect other stuff. And meanwhile, there's a representation of each of the colors as a mage trying to take over the world, and you have to stop them. But that's a lot of explosions.
Yeah, it's actually never really been this bad. This is the worst it's ever been, or else I've been in Argentina during the 4th or something. But this is particularly nasty this year, and it's really aggravating. So anyway, I'm sorry.
You said you already called the cops tonight?
Yeah.
Yep.
They said they'll get around to it.
Yep. You should have everybody in your household call.
Yeah. Well, I think the neighbors around here call a lot. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure that they know. It's just, nobody does anything.
I wonder how much it costs to buy some flashing blue lights that you can just stick on top of your car, and just like have them running as you drive through the neighborhood very slowly, and they'll scatter. Thinking it's the cops.
Apparently, it's not illegal to have those anymore. It used to be illegal, but now I just recently, a couple of days ago, saw a tow truck with blue and red flashing lights. I mean, I thought it was illegal to have blue and reds if you weren't an emergency vehicle, but apparently they've changed the law or something. That was a tow truck, not exactly a police car. In fact, I thought it was a police car coming up on it. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like putting a spotlight and mounting a spotlight on my balcony might be fun. Clunk.
Problem with that is that they know who's the one doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I saw a video the other day, though, of from China. They had a not a backhoe, the big version of the backhoe, whatever that's called, was rolling up on a house, and the house apparently was marked for demolition. And
again, intermittent internet there, it seems.
Yep, you are definitely getting internetant, and now you're all multicolored and gray. You're kind of cool looking. Okay, you're back. But yeah, apparently this guy started firing fireworks at the bulldozer. It wasn't a bulldozer, it was the front loader, and the front loader just backs up, and he's firing these things. Ultimately it gets into a ditch and falls all the way over. Like the driver's panicking and backing up, and I was like, well, that's one way to stop them from bulldozing your house, I guess.
I just noticed there are beavers on these coins.
Nice beaver.
Thanks. It's shiny.
So, anyway, we are after dark. We can make those jokes, you see.
You're just talking about animal there on the coin.
Animal on the coin.
It sounds like somebody's popping balloons in the other room.
I mean, there's nothing I'm not saying there's anything wrong with your bear beaver.
Justin Bieber.
Your Justin Bieber.
It's pretty good rhythm they got going off there. So, you think it's going to be worse at midnight?
I hope not. I'm over it. I am so over it.
Yeah, before I remember several years back, we would try to meet up in that park down by my house because
Mhm.
you could see 3 different cities in their firework displays from that park. And it was far
Well-
enough away, you didn't have to deal with the sound as much.
And I think I don't have a problem with it until it's artillery shell level. I think what's happened is this: all of Colorado is under a fire watch, so none of the cities are doing a fire watch or a fireworks display.
Oh.
So the private citizens have decided that since the cities are not going to do the safe version, they themselves are going to go out and set fireworks off so that they can see if they could start a fire. That's
Hopefully they're drinking lots of alcohol to numb the pain when
right.
a firework goes off.
Being burned is kind of unpleasant. You're right. So anyway.
Yeah, I remembered when I was really young thinking fireworks are cool, but somewhere in pre-teen to teen years, they just sort of lost their appeal.
And again, I have trauma-induced PTSD. I've never thought that those things were fun. Even knowing when they were going off wasn't good enough. Like, because you light it and then you wouldn't be sure. You know, it's gonna explode in the next 2-3 seconds, but you're not sure when. And oh no, even that was enough to be just too intense. So anyway, that's my phone telling me we've got 15 minutes left in the show.
So growing up in Texas, I would assume everybody other than you was really into fireworks.
Yeah, that was one of Dad's things. He would do, because he lived out in the boonies, so he wasn't in the city, and so it was totally legal. It was illegal to do fireworks inside the city limits, but it was totally legal at his house. So he would have parties on the 4th, and we'd all go out there and fire off fireworks, and I just kind of sit over in the corner and watch them firing fireworks, and I was okay with that. But I remember Dad's favorite thing to do was he'd go get a bunch of black cats and then he'd unstring them and put them in a bag, and then he'd pull one out and he'd light it, and then he'd throw it to see how far it would go before, he was trying to get it to explode mid-arc, and I'm astonished my dad never lost a thumb or a finger doing that. Somehow he did manage to not lose a thumb or a finger, although one time he did light one and then accidentally dropped it into the grocery bag full of other black cats. So he just quickly threw the whole bag off the balcony, and it went down in this cataclysmic pyroclastic fire. Which the thing that I remember the most from that, I'm just waiting for that one to explode. I guess not. The thing I remember the most from that one was that he was so sad. I remember feeling really bad for him because he was having fun. And even if I wasn't really enjoying it, he was having fun, and it still kind of made me feel bad.
Yeah. Don't put all your firecrackers in one bag.
Right? It was still one of those things. And of course, Dad's whole thing was that was my fault. I was the idiot. Oh, I remember what it was. The tip of his cigarette fell off and fell into the bag. That's what it was. It wasn't that he dropped the firecracker. The tip of the cigarette fell off. Because I remember him going, because that was another one of those moments of him going, I really hate smoking. You know what I mean? Like through my life, he has a number of times said, this is the stupidest habit I have. And he's like, I just can't shake it, but it's so dumb. And all it's doing is ruining my life. He hated that it made his house turn yellow, turned everything he had yellow. He hated that. He hated that he kept falling asleep because he had narcolepsy. He'd fall asleep and his cigarette would end up burning holes in the ground and somehow manage to never burn his house down.
Yeah, people die from that. It's
one of those things. His entire life up until the moment when he was diagnosed with emphysema, it's one of those cautionary tales because he was ADD as well. And I know he was ADD. We both know he was ADD. He failed the TOVA test every time. That's how he calibrated the Tova. Jeez Louise. That's how he calibrated the Tova. God. Was that he would take the test, and if he failed, it was calibrated correctly. But, I mean, you know, he had ADD, and I think cautionary tale, us ADDers are really, really susceptible to addiction. It's one of the other reasons that even though I'm being more accepting about alcohol, I still refuse to drink past one bottle of beer because I'm afraid that I'm an addictive personality. I will become an alcoholic. And so we're very susceptible to that. And so Dad's cautionary tale about smoking became really, sadly, very useful to me. And now I think to my kid. So I think we both are now aware and cognizant of how quickly we can fall down that pit.
Mhm.
You know?
I'm lucky enough that my genetics make me think it smells horrible. And so I've never had a desire to engage in it. So it's easy for me to avoid. Whereas if I didn't have that, then I probably would have, because I had enough friends that smoked.
Yeah, I was about to say, I lucked out. I was at a school where peer pressure was frowned upon. I mean, like by the kids. The kids frowned upon the idea of peer pressure. So
they use peer pressure to stop you from.
Yeah, they used peer pressure to stop you from getting peer pressure. So the people who smoked didn't pressure the people who didn't smoke. You know.
My mom and stepdad smoked when I was a kid. Didn't bother me. Going out to bars and clubs smoking didn't bother me. I am lucky enough that I do not get addicted to smoking. I literally smoked to look cool. And whenever I wasn't in a situation where it would look cool, I didn't smoke. Never had a problem.
Really wild, but cool. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, I mean, it's if you're gonna survive it, because I mean, like it took Dad out and it took Mom out, so you know. And we got a lot of family members.
Yeah, Kevin's. Well, I think I'm getting dropped here.
You're getting.
You froze up for a moment.
Now you're.
Yep, I started talking and everybody else disappeared. Now it's probably doing that crazy colored thing.
No, you're just out of sequence. Now you're linked up. You're good.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to say Kevin Smith never smoked cigarettes before Clerks, and as part of his character, he smoked because he thought it was a cool character trait to have. Became addicted for quite a while. So
yeah. So I mean, and this isn't to knock people who do smoke, because I'm noticing Brent's saying, you know, it's not to knock people who do smoke by any stretch. That's not. No. It's just one of those things.
I think what we knock is the fact that it's designed to be addictive with the chemicals that are in it.
Yeah.
So it's for those who want to stop, it's very difficult for them to stop.
That's the biggest problem. You know, because I feel like that's the thing is like it's.
Well, if big tobacco made it easy to quit smoking, then it'd make less money.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You got it.
Don't be a stupid capitalist. Be a smart capitalist. Well,
fire trucks though, so somebody set fire to something. Not here, but I can hear them down the road. They're on Wadsworth. So
sure, it's not an ambulance for.
No, it's you. It's the fire truck horn.
Okay.
You can hear that. Like the ambulance.
I can hear that too.
Yeah, I know. They're back to the gunfire thing.
Yeah, the gunfire ones are the ones that I don't like the most.
Now we got bottle rockets. It's nice. No, all of that's annoying and I don't like it, but that's not the one that gets me. It's that artillery shell one. That makes me flinch and it makes me uncomfortable and it just hurts.
Yeah, for me the gunfire ones sound too much like
gunfire. Right. Well, and I mean I count my blessings. I've never actually been under fire, so there's that. you know. So I mean, I guess it's kind of one of those things. It's like, so, but I mean, yeah, I could see the gunfire being terrifying if it sounds like gunfire.
Yep.
I get that.
Yeah, I'm not terribly concerned about neighbors shelling each other's houses or my house on accident. I'm more concerned with small arms fire.
Right. Like real
Much
small
more.
arms fire, like out there being kind of covered.
Yeah, some people just, for celebration, they will just fire into the air.
Yeah, and those bullets come back down because
What
gravity
goes up, ...
No, they just fly off into space.
Space gun.
Space bullets.
I mean, I guess I'm counting my blessings that at least so far, it doesn't seem to be part of the culture up here to shoot guns straight up in the air, but it is the culture in Texas. So I don't know how long it'll take before that spreads up here. And so I remember people doing that. I remember finding bullets in the road and stuff like that, like
Yeesh.
not non-struck bullets. They didn't strike anything. They just came back down and landed in the road somewhere. And I keep thinking 33 feet per second squared from an altitude of probably 3 or 4 miles, if it doesn't have a good tumble going for it, even if it does have a good tumble, that's a lot of kinetic energy. So I know that every so often you'll get, somebody gets killed by one of those coming back down.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that the distance between people is, the odds are pretty rare, so it's hard for that to occur, but not impossible.
Trying to find the
There's
right
that.
framing here.
Oh, you know what? I realized that part of the reason we have an echo could be that. I wonder if that helps. Do you hear any echo now from you guys?
I didn't notice any before, but I'm listening to them with little earphones. So
Okay. I have the output piped back into my mixer, and I just now realized because I was recording the game on Saturday, and for the audio recording purposes, I was recording the game on Saturday, so there was that. So, So anyway, we're now at like T-minus 4 minutes to the end of the show.
yeah.
So I don't even know what to do about these guys out there. So what else we got going on? Any interesting news? I've been watching For All Mankind, and I just now got the password for Hulu so I can start catching up on Orville. But I didn't have a lot of time because we finally got the password at about 8 o'clock-ish, and I wasn't sure I could get a whole episode of Orville and set up everything. So anyway, so I ended up watching Spy X Family, which was very adorable. It's an anime that a lot of people have been recommending that I watch, and it was very cute. So, geez, we just
Never heard of it.
Louder.
I don't have Hulu, so I can't catch up on Orville.
Oh no, this is actually like popular with anime fans all over the place. But effectively, what it is it's the rolling pin. Don't even mention the rolling pin in For All Mankind. I'm still having a hard time dealing with that right now. Anyway, no spoilers, but For All Mankind had an amazingly intense episode last week. Strange New Worlds had an amazingly intense episode last week. And I hear that the Orville episode from last week was also intense. So there was a lot of hard hitting in the sci-fi universe last week. So that's the news I've gotten from that front. And
I heard of an interesting show that's on CBS All Access or Paramount Plus, whatever you want to call it. That's done as a fake documentary about the world of esports.
Yeah,
So it
I
sounds
heard
like it
of it.
might be kind of fun to watch.
I keep seeing advertisements for it, so I'm curious if you watch it. I didn't find it interesting looking. It looked annoying to me.
Well, I'd have to steal your account to do it. So.
Oh, okay. Which might not be opposed. The only thing I'm opposed to is you watching Star Trek without me. But if you're watching
Right.
other things, I'm okay with it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But no watching Star Trek without me, because I know you will. If I
No,
don't
I-
say something, you will.
I
So,
rewatched some of the movies without you, so there.
That's all right.
That's
Just the
'cause-
new stuff. Like the new stuff is good.
No, it's a show Terror, the opening to the really bad one. Not the really, really bad one, but the one with digging holes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, with Cybok.
Mhm.
Oh boy.
Yep. So I'm like, yep, that's pretty much how it goes. Let's not watch the rest of this and skip to the next one.
Although I will never forget, they MST3K'd that movie at StarCon one year, and
Mhm.
it was still I can't ever. They had it was not actually a very good MST3K, but Cybok comes up and the little guy's like defending it with his gun. And he goes, "Are you really going to kill me over a bunch of empty holes?" And the guy up front goes, "What other kind of holes are there?" And I will never be able to watch that scene without hearing that, because that's like,
Mhm.
now that you mention it, why did they say empty holes? like I guess it's true. You never think about that, but there aren't. All holes are empty.
Well, until they're not.
Until they're not. That's what she said. And so there we go. Hey, After Dark. It's After Dark. Okay. Well, I think we've about run out of our time. Time for me to
Mhm.
switch over to the other side.
Yep.
Oh.
You can dodge cannon shells while drawing.
While drawing. At least that's calming.
Mhm.
So anyway, next week you'll be back here in the States, and hopefully the shelling will have stopped by then. So that's always a plus.
Mhm.
Thank you for being here, Brent.
Oh yeah.
You joined us, and thank you for being here, Troy and Alex, and stuff like that. And that's really pretty much all the time we have for today. So I've been Guy,
I've been Alex.
Troy.
and this is Geek Tank.